be under the bright lights. I want to be on the Broadway stage.
Tiger Rag Radio is on now.
I had a chance to talk with Marlon Favorite, who played with Kyle Williams back in the early 2000s. And, of course, Kyle is the new LSU defensive line coach. And I got Marlon Favorite's take on Kyle Williams taking the job and replacing Bo Davis as the LSU D-line coach. Your thoughts on your former teammates, someone who was one of the best defensive tackles that LSU has seen here over the last 30 years or so, now joining LSU's coaching staff as a defensive line coach.
It's a big thing for LSU, Jeff. I mean, just thinking back when I first heard of the hire, I'm like, man, this is good for LSU. I love the way that Coach Kelly is bringing back guys that know that position like the back of their hand, and Kyle is for certainly one of those guys. With me, Glenn Dorsey, Tyson Jackson, Charles Alexander, when we first got to LSU, Kyle and Melvin Oliver and big Marcus Spears and all of those guys, Claude Roden, they were junior techniques that we got better with and continued to use throughout our career, really came from a guy like a Kyle Williams. It came from a guy like a Marcus Spears. So I'm pretty sure he's going to have some Michelin Man jokes ready for me when I see him for the spring game. But Kyle's definitely witty. One heck of a ball player in cake. That's why he played 14 years for one team in the NFL, which is extremely hard to do. And he has a painted picture at LSU, an All-American and one heck of a technician and a defensive tackle. Yeah, I would think some LSU fans are saying, hey, that's great. They hired Kyle Williams. He played a long time in the NFL. He was a great player at LSU, but can he coach on the college level? But it sounds like in your mind, there's no doubt that he can. Not at all. I mean, if you look at it, this is the thing, and I'm not pulling my own coattail or anything, but, hey, I played the position. I've coached it on a high school level. I've consulted and worked with NFL and college guys. If I have to coach the D-line in college, I can. Because this is the thing. When people start getting into experience and does he have the experience to do it, can he do it, what needs to be done, what he can learn from under Coach Kelly's tutelage, what he's learned from being in the Coach Nick Saban system, playing for Coach Bo Davis. I mean, I couldn't think of a more ready guy to teach that position. Now, if you were to say, hey, they hired Kyle Williams as the defensive coordinator, I would get people's reservations. But, I mean, they're asking him to focus on an area he knows like the back of his hand. I think the players, would be able – I mean, Kyle was a teacher to us. I mean, I can remember, like, in those summers when Coach Bo Davis was working with us, we're coming in seniors out of high school just learning the college game. Kyle was very instrumental in making sure we were playing with the right technique. And, I mean, it really parlayed Glenn Dorsey into some early playing time as a freshman. And it really playing behind Kyle Williams, Claude Roden, Marcus Spears, Melvin Oliver, Ryan Willis, those guys really prepare us to be superstars in the SEC. And that's why I think that this was a great hire, especially when you lose a guy like Bo Davis. Okay, who can come in and implement the system that Bo Davis had just implemented last year with a breeze? Kyle Williams, easy.
Joining the Army is more than a chance to serve your country. It's also a great career move.
All my personal experience, I've been able to build upon that so that I could achieve construction management and training, go for a project manager planner. So when I get out of the military, I'm able to pursue a career in construction management.
Get the experience you need through service in the United States Army.
Could you talk about his passion for football, Marlon?
Oh, he loves the game, man. That's one thing about Kyle. Let me tell you how the passion is so much there. Like, we talk about all the great things that Kyle Williams has done in the NFL and won a national championship in '03, was a starter on that team. I remember playing against Kyle at Shaw. My sophomore year, we played against Ruston. They came down to West Jeff. They actually had Big Kyle on the wedge. He had to bust the wedge open. I mean, he's just a hard-nosed football. I mean, he grew up in Ruston, Louisiana. what else is there to do in Ruston besides play ball and eat pretty good? Relax your mind. It's their country. But the point I'm making is Kyle's one of those guys, in my opinion, that really loves the game. And Kyle wasn't this specimen, right? He wasn't running a 4.740. He didn't have long arms. He weighed about 295, 300. Didn't have the top. Well, he was pretty strong. I take that back. But, the tools you typically see in a hybrid D lineman, this dude survived 14 drafts and left on his own terms in the NFL. That says a lot. And if you want to find out this guy is cut for the position, ask yourself one of the hardest things to do is to stay on one team for double-digit years. Not get traded. You draft guys, it doesn't matter. And he left on his own terms. I can't. That's the biggest argument I can make for the job.
Final question for you, Marlon. I don't know how much you've been keeping in touch with Kyle, but obviously had a successful stint as the defensive coordinator at Ruston High School, stepped away from that job a little over a month ago. How surprised were you to hear, hey, he's going to be the guy to replace Bo Davis as LSU's defensive line coach?
It wasn't surprising. I was more excited than surprised. For real, like in all honesty, because Kyle knows that position. And look, you just put me on game. I didn't even know he had jumped back into coaching like that in Ruston. You feel me? So, and I think Kyle got a crib in PR. Like it's an easy move for him. I mean, it's a good hire. You're going to continue to not only fortify that defensive line, but you'll also position yourself to have a guy that can potentially stay on your coaching staff for a while. Because Kyle took the job because he loved LSU. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he would have jumped to a job to Auburn or Kentucky. So you got somebody that's going to be in the building, that the way he coaches, his style of play, he's going to improve your line. The experience alone, it's to me, and I'm not taking anything from coaches like Coach Todd Haley or anybody of that nature, but the best experience is the folks who actually played the game.
Marlon, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me. Go Tigers, baby, and congratulations to Kyle.
Spring is sprung, the grass is riz, I know where the library is. What's happening at the library? The 19th annual One Book, One Community series celebrating sports and youth mentorship with Jeffrey Marx's best-selling book, Season of Life. Join the library for events and activities for all ages in March and April. For details, spring over to readonebook.org. That's READONEBOOK.org.